Ryan, you've had a couple of games now and a bit of time to settle in. How does it all feel?
Feels amazing. Truth be told, yeah, there's a real good feeling around the place. Obviously came in against Bromley. Looking back on it, probably a decent start, getting a clean sheet on my debut, and then took that into Newport and got another 3 points and a clean sheet. So, yeah, feeling's really good.
What's allowed you to settle into the team so quickly, do you think?
I think just the type of characters that we have in the building, the manager, the assistant, Gav, Mildy, they've just been top since day one in terms of how they've allowed the new signings like myself, Ollie Palmer, to integrate into the group, give us roles and responsibilities, and come in, be that, kind of leader, if you like. And it's been seamless, to be honest.
When you kind of come into a club as a new player, how do you go about trying to make a positive first impression?
I think just being yourself, and if you're just yourself, people like you, they like you. If they don't, they don't. I don't think you can't go into a club and try and put on a front, because after a while you'll soon get found out. And I think if you're a good person, people will always naturally like you and have that respect towards you. And yeah, you haven't got to try and do anything in particular, to be honest.
And I guess at this point, in this stage of your career, you kind of know where you are and what you're good at and all that.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, a lot of games under my belt now, so I think probably the boys and the staff know what they can expect from me. Played in League One for a long time, and obviously had brief spells in the Championship and whatnot. So played with a few of the boys before, previous clubs, played against them, and when you're in the Football League, a lot of people know a lot of people. So yeah, my style of play and how I am as a person has probably been well documented.
And how do you kind of assess the defensive group you've got alongside you? Because there's a good sort of depth in terms of the number of centre halves available.
Yeah, we've got a lot of centre halves, so there's a lot of competition for places. You know that you can't. I don't even think you can afford to have one, below par half of football. Otherwise, your position's up for grabs. But saying that, we're all in it together, and it doesn't matter who comes in, doesn't matter who comes out. We all just want to win on a Saturday, regardless of who's playing, because we're all pulling in the same direction. I think that's essential for a promotion-pushing team. You want to have the energy on the bench from people who are playing in your position to still want you to do well. Whereas, in the past, can become a little bit toxic when someone's in your position and you've been left in the stands, or you're on the bench and you're kind of preying on a downfall, because then you think then it's going to increase your chance of getting back into the team. But the best teams, I think, and the ones who get promoted genuinely want the best for each other. So the strength and depth is unbelievable, and we've got, I think, like eight or nine players maybe who could play centre half, and not only are we well stacked there, but we've got good talent there, and we've said, like, between ourselves, if we can have a real push this season, get promoted, we'll be well equipped for League One as well.
There are some of the younger ones in there, Tom Wilson-Brown and Phil Mbete at the other end of their careers. How much do you kind of enjoy and want to take a bit of a mentorship role for that? Yeah,
definitely. Like, it would be my pleasure to take them under my wing and try and improve them as centre halves, and they're all top players. 90, Phil, Brownie, at that age, like, miles better than I was. So they've got big futures ahead of them. If they can, get as much game time as possible and find that level of consistency, I think they can go as high as they want, really. But yeah, I'll try and play my part and definitely help them get there and improve as centre halves, and try and teach them things that I wish that someone maybe taught me at that age, and hopefully they can implement into their games and showcase on the pitch.
And how is settling back into sort of League Two after your loan spell in the Far East? And how did that all come about?
Yeah, so I got into the side at Wickham. We played against Birmingham, and then I think that was my last game before going on loan. I got injured, rolled my ankle on a dry pitch, and then after that, the team was flying. I think we were top of the league at the time, and I'd been out for maybe 12 weeks or so with a bad ankle injury. So opportunity came about for me to go and to go on loan, really, because I was never going to get back into the side with how well the boys were doing at the time, and naturally just fell down the pecking order. So I had a few different options, like League One clubs and whatnot, who wanted me to go on loan there, but I had an opportunity to come about in Hong Kong, something different. I thought, it's a loan. I've still got a year left on my contract. Why not go and get some life experience, see what the style of play is like over there, the culture. So I went over there and just, thought, let's challenge myself here. If it doesn't go to plan, I can maybe get back to it the following year, because I had a year left on my deal. If it does, then maybe other doors will open over in Asia, and I've got an Iranian passport, so that kind of helped me with that, and yeah.
And a kind of worthwhile experience, football and life-wise?
Yeah, no, it was really good. Hong Kong's like it's an amazing place. Very expensive, very populated, but in terms of friendships I made over there, memories, it was really, really good. Different ball game though. Different ball game. It's crazy. You go over to somewhere like Hong Kong and you realise how many good players there are in the world, actually. But the type of game was completely different to what you see in England. That's for sure.
I was going to say, it's obviously been a while since you've been in League Two. So how's the adaptation back? And does it feel different from when you last played in it at all? From what you've had in these?
It was such a long time ago that it's kind of hard to remember. And obviously I've changed as a player since then. So it's it's hard to take my mind back to my Mansfield days. I would say that maybe there's a slight difference between League One and League Two in terms of tempo and maybe just the standard in the game, and that's why we feel like we've got a squad here good enough that could easily do well in League One as well. So if we can get promoted this year, I think we'll be good, because when I actually train here, it's very similar to how it's been at Wickham over the years, and we've always been a League One club that's trying to push or made the playoff final or come down from the Championship, and in terms of the standard it's very similar. So I mean, yeah, you asked me about how's League Two. I'll say the standard in the games has probably been a little bit lower than League One, which is expected, but our actual training sessions and between ourselves, like we've got an in-house game today, I feel like that'll be like right at like a League One level.
Some players embrace social media, others fear it. So tell us about the YouTube channel and what sort of made you decide to put yourself out.
Yeah, well, it was just after COVID actually, and I had an idea. Me and my friend, we thought, we picked up loads of experience. I picked up loads of experience over my career. He's he's very into football. So we thought, why not try and help aspiring professional footballers actually improve at their games? And we thought one way to do that would be we build a business and then we market it via the YouTube, instead of going down just like out and out banter and general, I don't know, like match day vlogs. We try and give tips and tricks along the way. So that's what we did, and then off the back of that, try and get people over to who are aspiring professionals or just want to improve at their footballing game. We can get them over to the business and help them out.
Because your kind of career is interesting, isn't it? Because you're at Southampton, you're at a good academy, you get let go, and then I guess you could have easily sort of fallen through the net, if you like.
Nearly did, to be fair. And then I had a podcast with our two kit men the other day, and I said that I left Southampton and probably stupidly turned down a couple of clubs at that time. I think it was Bradford City. They were offering me like really bad money, and I just thought, I can't commit to this 4.5 hours away from home and living in a hotel. And then nothing really came up, and I just found myself training every day at my local park, and I just had this, you can call it delusion, but I just had this belief that something would pop up. And then one day I thought, let me go and try and get a conference club, make my mark. And I saw Mansfield Town was struggling at the bottom of the table. naively just picked up my phone one day at the park, thought, let me call Mansfield, rang the like Mansfield Town Football Club's number they give you on Google, put me through to the club shop, but the CEO happened to answer the phone, and then, yeah, one thing led to another.
Obviously at Mansfield you kind of struck up this relationship with Ollie Palmer, so why do you two get on so well despite what you said on Saturday, that you pretty much busted each other up when you played competitively?
Yeah, we have had some good battles against each other for sure. He's from the same area as me, back in Surrey, so we kind of knew about each other or of each other before we'd even signed for Mansfield. I remember the first day he walked through the doors at Mansfield, I thought, yeah, I know that guy. That's Ollie Palmer, and ever since then we've just clicked and just been really good mates.
And last one, because we're BBC Wiltshire, we do kind of cover Salisbury as well. So what do you remember of your kind of first foray into kind of senior football with Salisbury? If much at all.
It was tough. I remember I was 18, didn't really know too much about the conference at the time, and I think I was a second year scholar, and they said this loan move's come about, Salisbury, and I thought, like, it's not the best, that is it? But so wrong I was. Went there, men's football, well, it was really tough at the time. Had to, well, I don't think I actually did at that point, learn to head it and kick it fast. Otherwise, I would have been in trouble. But it was that great experience. I mean, some of the players we had, I think Darryl Clark was he was captain, now manager of Bristol Rovers. We had some good players, and that really does turn you from a boy to a man.
And last one, you've sort of touched on it a couple of times. You've talked about the possibility of promotion. I mean, how realistic an aim does that seem from where you are and what you've seen?
Yeah. I think we've got to aim to win the league, and if we fall just short of that and we get promoted, then we finish second or third. Like, you take that, because the main goal is to get promoted. And with the group that we've got, with the staff that are backing us, with the gaffer spearheading it all, I don't see why we can't try and win the league, and at a minimum get promoted. It would be a shame if we didn't, but take it game by game. I know it's a bit cliche, take it game by game, but just it's taking forward steps every week, making sure that we're improving, and trusting the process. All right, top man, thank you, mate.
As well as you've done so far, one of the things that interested me was after you went off and you went down the touchline and started coaching. Did you get asked to do that? Was that just natural?
No. To be fair, I thought, let me just try and provide an extra voice. Biggie, the gaffer, would have been screaming all game, and then as it gets later, it's like, even like as a player, it gets to 70 minutes, it becomes kind of hard to actually shout, a little bit painful. So I thought, let me just, I was allowed to put on a bib and like I was doing a cool down and get closer to the defenders and the midfielders. So I thought, whereas Biggie and the gaffer was stuck in the technical area. So I thought it just might help us get over the line.
You and Jamie have come into the team fairly recently, but clearly the partnership with yourselves and Ollie Clark's done really well. So what do you think has allowed you to kind of develop that so quickly?
I think we do a lot of work on the training pitch, and we're always, in the games that I played in, I've been with, obviously, Jamie and Skip, but in training I played with Phil, I played with Righty, I played with Brownie, Jamie's played with Righty, Brownie, Phil, whoever, Ryan now's back. So we've all had the chance to get to know each other in training, and obviously that comes from the staff. So, when it does come to game day, we're very familiar with how each other plays. Obviously that'll only improve over time, but we were, ready to go when the Bromley game came, and then obviously Newport.
And lastly, I've very much been enjoying your videos. What do you think is one thing that footballers might not expect that is like something that could really help them?
In terms of making it, or like improving at football,
or sort of nutrition and things like that.
I'd say sleep is such a big thing for footballers, but and people will chase them long nights of sleep, but you're better off trying to improve your sleep consistency in terms of waking up at the same time and going to bed at the same time every night, as opposed to chasing like 9-10 hours nights of sleep. That's just a random one.